So the Cavs and 76ers are tied for fourth in the East. 6-4 in their last 10, but they're only a half game behind the Bucks and the Nets for second. Celtics have separated a little. They've been kind of inconsistent as of late. Is there anything concerning, or is it just kind of the process of figuring it out when you got so many young guys?
I don't know that there's necessarily anything that's concerning to me. They're still a borderline top 10 offense. They're still a top 5 defense in the NBA. There's been some slippage on the defensive end of the floor. They've allowed the Memphis Grizzlies to pass them for number 1 in defensive rating, but it's nothing alarming to me necessarily. I think the two things that you look at, Dave, if you're a detractor of the Cavs and you're saying, they don't belong in the same conversation with Brooklyn and Boston and Milwaukee and Philadelphia, and maybe even flip it over to the Western Conference with some of those juggernauts out there as well, they can't win on the road. They're a completely different team on the road than they are at home, offensively and defensively. And it's strange because defense, it's the calling card of this team, and it should travel. It should be there, no matter if you're at home or on the road. You don't need to fuel off of the crowd for that. Your role players make more shots at home than they do on the road, but that shouldn't tie into your defense as well. Like, all of the principles and all of the things that you truly believe in on the defensive end of the floor should still be there and be as effective on the road as they are at home. It just hasn't been that way. So I do think it's in part a young team figuring it out. But if they want to be considered a legitimate contender, they've got to learn how to carry what they do at home on the road, and they certainly haven't proven that. The other thing that might give you a little bit of pause is that when they do play against these top level teams, and both teams are at full strength or close to full strength, for a majority of them, the Cavs have struggled. And that's something that they're going to have to figure out as well, because once they get into the postseason, once they get into March, April, and May, like, you're no longer playing against the Pistons and the Orlando Magic and the Houston Rockets and those kinds of teams.